So this is a 26-month antidepressant free update from going cold turkey. I wouldn't recommend going cold turkey, but I didn't know at the time. I've been free from propranolol, cocodamol, paroxetine, promazine, mirtazapine, diazepam, lorazepam, and other things as well that was in my system. And I just wanted to do an update on how it's been going. So if you see my first video, that was when I obviously first came off. But I didn't do a video until I think it was about 6 months. 6 months being off, because in the 6 months that I came off, I wasn't in the world. I didn't realise that I wasn't in the world. I was just trying to get on with stuff, like I was doing my garden and things like that. But I was waking up in the morning uncontrollably crying. Thought my world was ending. Didn't really know what to do. So on the 10th of January in 2023, I went to the doctors. That's when they tried to put me on propranolol. I said no. I've said no to every single pharmaceutical drug ever since then. So in 26 months, I've not took one pharmaceutical drug. Apart from a couple of times where I got intense migraines to the point where I can't see, my vision goes blurred, and it feels like you've been hit with a baseball bat at the back of your neck and your head, and there's an intense pressure. So I did have half of paracetamol, Tylenol if you're in America, but that's the only pharmaceutical medication that I've allowed to enter my body, and that was not willingly. It was just because I was in so much pain, and it's not recent either. That was like last year, maybe the year before. So yeah, so I explained my symptoms to the doctor of what I was feeling in January 2023. That's when I took myself off at Christmas. Took myself off absolutely everything. Didn't take any other tablets from when I said that I wasn't gonna take another tablet because I had back pain. I thought the tablets were damaging my body inside, so I think that's when I come to the conclusion that I didn't want any medication in my body. But I went to the doctors and she tried to, I was in tears, I was sobbing. I think she tried to put me back on antidepressants and I said no. She offered me propranolol, I said no. So then I just had to try and deal with it by myself. I was getting in the bath. I didn't want a bath, but having a bath was the only thing that made me like a bit coherent. I just sobbed in the bath. I put my music on proper loud, sang to music, and cried at the same time. And that was going on for 4 months maybe, until I was doing my garden and my nervous system completely broke. I was shaking, uncontrollably trembling. Like, it was just the worst experience of my life. But if you want to look at the symptoms for that, look at my first video that I ever did. So there was someone who said about, on one of my giving up cannabis videos, they mentioned my house not being in a sufficient state. And I don't need to defend myself or anything, but over the past 9 years, when I went on the medication, everything went down. I didn't care about anything. I didn't think about anything. I was like a zombie. So the house that I had before that was lovely. The house that I've got now isn't so lovely. It doesn't bother me. It's just what happened. And then coming off the tablets, my head's not been in a place where it can get to grips with doing anything like that. It's just not coherent. It can't do anything. It's been stuck. And if you've been on this journey, then you'll understand that trying to do anything is impossible. I lost capacity to do anything. Like I said on my first video, it was like being reborn again, coming off the tablets. And I've had to learn, like, I'm like a newborn baby, having to learn, like, my nervous system, everything again, but in a more positive, productive way kind of thing. So the help that I got, I'm not saying I wasn't grateful, but I didn't have anyone at that time, and I had to ring someone who I'd not spoke to for a while. And the information that I was getting was like, they turned into conspiracy theorists. So imagine coming off antidepressants in this little cave that you've been in for like however many years. You're in this little cave in your own little world, and then you come off, you're in total shock, your nervous system's in shock, and then the only help you can get is being told like that the food's poisoned, the power lines are going to affect your body. I ended up getting myself a survival kit because I thought that the world was ending. It was that bad. I was that vulnerable, and I got myself into a shocking state of fear. I've still got my survival bag. I've got like a camping. I got a tent. I got a sleeping bag. I got everything you need to survive. And that was just a state that I was in at that time because I didn't have anybody to help me regulate myself. So I've had to learn to regulate myself over I'd say over the past year. I couldn't do anything in the first year. I was in that much of a state. I didn't know what was real. I didn't know what was not real. People were weird. I was frightened of my own dogs. PTSD came back. Well, I didn't know I had PTSD, but my dog got attacked. And then when I stopped the tablets, it come into full force PTSD, being absolutely terrified. I couldn't go out my house. If I saw a dog, my body would go into shock. I kept thinking I was going to get attacked from here, there and everywhere. I couldn't walk past the dog. If I heard a dog barking, my legs would go to jelly. I'd start shaking. It still as it still appears, but it's not with the same intensity now. It still does it. It did it the other day. They're a big German Shepherd, and I've got a German Shepherd too. But this German Shepherd was like on his way to us, and I thought, oh no. But luckily it didn't come near me. But the whole experience of that, it just feels like my body goes weak and my legs start shaking, my hips go weak, and then I start imagining the worst outcome and I need to escape that situation. But luckily it was fine. And it's not, my brain doesn't catastrophize things as it was doing in like 2023. It was like World War III in 2023. It were out of this world, the amount of fear that I were feeling. So yeah. So I was in a paranoid state due to all the information that I was being given, kind of thing, and I didn't really need all that information. I just needed loving. But hey ho, I'll love myself, which I have been doing. So, and since I've not been listening to any of that shit, I've actually calmed down a hell of a lot. Kind of getting back into a bit of the swing of things. So you need to be careful who you're listening to and what information's going in your brain, because it can severely affect your healing. I met one person, but because I was in so much fear and paranoid, I ended up ruining that. I had an emotional outburst. I was thinking too much and I just got paranoid, and that friendship ended due to my outburst. So one of the worst symptoms that I experienced is my nervous system. It's the constant shaking and the weakness. I've got weakness in my hips. I've got weakness in my glutes. I don't have a bum anymore. It's like they're not working. So I'm trying to do stretchy exercises to make them a bit more functional. I mean, I go running and things like that, but they're still not. They're not like locking into action. Like this, I can't feel my bum, kind of thing. Um, and it's painful as well. And at the bottom of my back on the right side, that's been painful for 3 years. So I think that it's all nervous system related, um, and it just makes me like uncontrollably like shake and stuff, and like I've no stability. Um, I tried to balance the other night, and my hips they were going like that. Do you know, like I've got Alzheimer's or something like that? Not Parkinson's, sorry. That's what my hips are like now. So I need to do some work on them to get them a bit more functional. Um, but hopefully that'll sort itself out. Um, it just makes me feel weak as well. It's like there's a weakness, so it's not very nice. But I know that I can overcome it. Um, what else? Oh yeah, on the subject of my house as well. It's not in the best state that it's ever been in, but I'm not bothered about that. Everything gets sorted in its own time. But when I come off the tablets, I just had this sense of like I didn't know who I was. I didn't know why I was here. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And with that came like a lot of guilt and grief. Like, 'cause I didn't think I was doing the things that I was supposed to be doing. But I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And then there was frustration because I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. Um, and in this house, all I've wanted to do for since 2023 is just escape it. I don't want to be in it. Um, it just doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know what I want to do or who I am, or um, it's just like I just can't seem to settle in the house. I don't want to do any work or anything. My brain will not function to get into that space right now to do anything like that, and that's all right. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. I'm clean. Do you know what I mean? And if you've experienced like similar, then you'll understand exactly what I mean. Right. I've not had a lot of like, so there's waves which are like bad episodes of how you're feeling, and then there's windows where you can see like a glimmer of like life, real life, normality maybe. And I've not had a lot of windows really. So yeah. I'm also really sensitive to food. I got phobic about what I was gonna eat because when I did come off the tablets, all I could eat was like tomato soup, um, and that went on for like 3 months. I literally couldn't stomach anything, and the only reason I was eating tomato soup was so I had something in my body. I felt so frail and weak and skinny. I just felt empty. I can't do just this emptiness in my body. Um, so although I was just like having the tomato soup just to function, just to know that I've got something like in my body. Um, and then after about 6 7 months, I started having smoothies. I don't think I could have the texture either. It was the chewing and things like that. I just couldn't stomach it. I tried to have a takeaway at one point, but I couldn't eat that, and I could just taste all the fat and the. It's literally like my brain rewired it. My brain just did something, and I couldn't stomach that food anymore, like processed food and things like that. So, um, like a phobia kind of thing. Um, so and so like you're just really vulnerable coming off your tablets and stuff. So like do your research on YouTube, because there's some really good stories, and journeys what people have been on. That's what helped me get through, and still helping me get through. There's Angie Peacock. There's the Lovely Grind. I've been watching Teal Swan because she's really motivating, and it's just like, yeah, it's good to watch her. Who else have I been watching? I've watched a few, but like they're like my main ones that I've been watching. And they've really helped me. Just yeah. So it's just like I'm still at a point where I don't know who I am and I don't know what I'm doing. I am trying everything in my power to get to where I want to be. Like in 2023, I did at the end, like towards the end of the year, I did manage to get myself to a campfire. That's outside, so you're not stuck in a room like with all different energies. It's like outside, so you're free and you can just sit there and there's a fire going. And it's just like a really lovely atmosphere with really lovely people. So I'm still going to that. That's once a week. Sometimes I've not managed to go to it, but my nervous system, because I know the people and I know the place now, and like it's a little routine that I've conjured up for myself. It gets easier. It's much easier than what it were like 2 years ago. So this year, I've not even addressed like my trauma or anything like that. I didn't even think about it until I met that person who I don't speak with anymore. She really helped me like realise that you can't just leave things in past. You have got to deal with and feel like your emotions and stuff. It's not actually what happened to you. It's just the feelings of what happened and how you can, because you feel in certain ways how you felt due to different situations, but it's just a different way of coping with the feelings now, instead of like reverting to what I did in the past, like drinking and drugs and like just masking, which I don't do any of that now. I am feeling, I am healing, I am trying to like feel the sensations in my body. There's a thing. Irene Lyons, she's brilliant. She does somatic work. So I think it's Dr. Levine. She does like his work kind of thing. And it's all about the body and feeling everything in your body, because trauma, like it gets stored in your body. So if you've had surgeries, if things have happened to you, like it's just trauma. So if you can feel it in your body, I've not really gone into somatic, but this is kind of the gist of what she does. So it's just about being in touch with your body, being in touch with your emotions, and trying to get them to flow freely. You can do like somatic exercises and things like that. So it's just about doing what's best for you as well. You can listen to people till they're blue in the face, but you can resonate with them, but your journey is your journey, and you're never going to heal if you just copying what other people are doing to heal, because you're not feeling it for yourself. You've got to do what's right for you, and if it feels right, then you should do it. I've found that consistency's helped me a lot. Staying consistent with my thoughts. I mean, today I've woke up. I had some burgers yesterday. It said on the packet they were 100% beef. Fine. I had some cookies as well, right? Chocolate and like white chocolate. But I woke up this morning with the worst morning anxiety I've had in a couple of months. It's like a humming sensation, of anger and frustration running through my body, like that's all through my body, and then my brain's like, it's like you feel like kind of choked up, and it's just like I have the grief, I have the doom of what am I doing here, what am I doing with my life, and the crying. I'm crying in bath again this morning. But like that's my journey, it's my recovery, and I can laugh about it, because even though it's not funny, I know what to expect now, and I know how to deal with it now. even though it feels as bad as it did, I know it's going to go, and I'm not going to die. And like I've got things to look forward to. There's things in process for me to look forward to. I started another group. That is trying to deal with my trauma. I actually had to walk out of it because I did. They asked me. Well, they asked. There's about 10 of us there, and they said, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, kind of thing. What are you doing now?" And honestly, my brain just like got like a mental block, and I'm thinking, well, I'm sat here. I don't know what I'm doing. I've not known what I'm doing for like 9 years. But more coherently for 2 years, I've not known what I'm doing. So it all got a bit too much because no one's asked me that. It's not been brought to my attention, like, and I got really upset. And I was sat in that group, and from when I got there, like, I was shit. I've been trying to give up weed as well, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But I was just trembling, shaking, like vibration trembling through my body. And that lasted the whole 2 hours. But I did get up, and I had to leave the room to like calm myself down. And when I got outside, I've learnt the tactics that you can stamping your feet, that grounds you, shaking, that's somatic, so you can shake, like, because it brings you back to earth, it brings your mind back to reality, and it brings your body like to know that you're safe, kind of thing. And I also remember when I was 14, I were at a sports day, and I'd been stood out for some reason. I got in trouble, and my teacher stood me near these toilets, and I weren't very happy, and I was stomping my feet. But I am amazing because I was re-regulating my nervous system. Yep. So if my teacher's watching this, that's what I were doing. Stomping your feet re-regulates you. So there you go. I wasn't a stroppy teenager. I was actually listening to my body at that time, but then you get cold crazy for listening to your body. So if there is any teachers out there, you should bring that into the classroom. Get a stomping your feet, shaking your hands, shaking your arms, shaking your head a little bit. Get your kids to do that, and it gets all the nervous energy out. So yeah, so I just wanted to do this video. It's been 26 months. I'm still here, still alive. I've done loads of research to help myself and everybody else. I have been productive. I am exercising. I am eating healthy food. I don't eat processed food. I mean, I have the odd occasional like takeaway, but I know what it's going to do to me the next day, so I'm very careful about what I do eat. Because it's not nice to feel how I feel, because you can actually feel it if you've been on a clean diet and then you had something that's processed. You can actually feel it. That goes for drinks too. I've not had a bag of crisps or chips if you're in America. I've not had any of them for 2 years. I've not touched a bag of crisps or chips in 2 years. And I could go through 12 bags. Like, went before that, I could eat 12 bags in one go. What else? I don't eat bread. I don't have milk. What else do I not have? I try to limit my sugar, but I really do love chocolate. But I do try to limit that as well. I kind of binge. I can have 3 big bars and I can eat that well. But I do know what it's going to do to me. So, yeah, and I've not had coffee in 2 years. And I used to have 20 cups a day with that, with 20 joints as well. And I don't smoke weed anymore, so that's good. So it's all positive. It's looking positive. 26 months later. I'm not saying I'm healed. I'm not saying I'm fully there. I'm on my journey. And if anybody else is on the journey, there's no time frame. There's no, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing this. No, listen to yourself. You got to do what's right for you in the time frame. What's right for you, and eventually, you will get to where you want to be. And yeah, and watch some of my more of my videos, because I've got information on there, and you can see what a mess I was when I first came off the tablets. And you can get to a better place, I promise you. So thank you for watching. I'll be back with another update. I don't know when, but if you subscribe and hit the notifications, then my videos will pop up and you can have a gander at my new videos that are coming up. And if you like my video and it resonated with you, can you hit the like? Alright, thank you. Have a brilliant day.